right, everyone. So we're about to take our first step into the arena today. And this first step is going to have you to reflect on what you want it to be during your childhood. So many of us are in professions that we are not necessarily engaged with. In fact, studies show that about 80% of people working in corporate America are not actively engaged with their job. Think about the number of people who are doctors who never had any intention of being a doctor, but their parents said, your mom was a doctor, your grandmother was a doctor, and you're going to be one. See, the thing that we know about people during their childhood is that this is the time where the id, the ego, and the superego are not having all of those interferences from all of the outside voices. And what I challenge you today to do is to really think back to your childhood. Now, for some of us, we may have to think a little further back, but I want you to take a moment to really think about what was it during your childhood that you were really passionate about. I wanted to be a cardiologist as a child. I knew I wanted to save lives. I knew that I loved helping people, and no one could tell me anything different. But guys, guess what? When I got to my junior year of college, I realized that I did not like the sight of blood. Could not stand the sight of blood. So I knew I had to quickly pivot, and I transitioned to being a psychology major and knowing that I wanted to eventually become an executive coach, a speaker, and then consulting with organizations to increase overall engagement with people. I really want you to take a moment to get silent, get quiet, and do some deep introspection. Because many of you right now, you're living a life that everyone else has dictated to you. You have a fancy title, but it's not a title that you ever intended on having. You're making a nice income, but you're miserable every day doing it. So I challenge you today. Are you going to continue to watch life pass you by? Or are you going to take a really bold step to say, what is it that I truly want to do? What am I truly passionate about? See, the person who had that VP title, who decided to step out and say, I'm going to open my own bakery because that's what I really want to do. Those are the people who have the courage to say, I no longer care what everyone else thinks about me. I'm going to live the life I was called to live. And I challenge you today, whether you are a VP or whether you are fresh out of college, to make sure you're living the life that you will not have regrets in 20, 30, 40 years. But instead, the life that you know is truly the life that you want to live. And truly, when you dig deep inside, one that you know is answering your internal calling. So take time today, reflect on that childhood dream, and I'll tell you, you'll have some really, really interesting thoughts on, oh wow, I'm really drastically off course, or it's going to be pretty easy for me to get this ship back on course.